And guess what? We are live. It's Mary Alice Curran in Connecticut, and I'm so happy that I am able to connect with Tisha Poncio in Texas and Olivia, one of her SWAT students, to talk about how students can lead. I am a massive fan of your program, of all of your students, massive fan of yours, Tisha. And I really would love to have you inspire others about why you started this program, what the program is all about, and how, oh my gosh, if I had one wish, this would be my wish for all school communities everywhere.
Thank you, Mary Alice. We're excited to join you. Olivia and I are masked up because in our school, we are face-to-face. The majority of our students are face-to-face, so we are required to wear masks. Olivia is joining me in the afternoon. Typically, I don't have any students, but welcome, Olivia. Yeah. So Students Can Lead really was created after I created a program called SWAT. SWAT stands for Students Who Advocate Technology. And I created this program after seeing multiple programs at other schools present at conferences like TCA, ISD, any of those conferences that you've been to. I saw people were doing this student tech leadership thing. And the minute I saw it, I knew I needed to create a program that was going to serve our students, our teachers, and our administrators. So I came up with a plan because my thought on leadership is this: if we want to have better leaders leading the world, we have to start before they go out into the world. So I thought, let's put together a group of students who are not only going to learn to lead, but they're going to learn to lead with digital citizenship in digital spaces with digital devices, as well as learn customer service, public relations, creativity, marketing skills, so many different things involved in that. So we started SWAT in 2017 with only 6 members. And then we have grown back and forth from 12 members to now we're to 10 members. All of these students get level 1 or 2 Google Educator certified because we're a Google district. And so in order to help our teachers, they have to know what our teachers are doing, how they are implementing the tools in their classroom. They also focus on digital portfolios and resumes, and they make me better in that regard. So I was using the old the old dinosaur Microsoft Word resume template, Mary Alice, from like 2000. And they started showing me how to create resumes in different digital tools like Adobe Spark, Canva, and then creating digital portfolios in Wakelet. And I'm going to let Olivia talk to you about resumes and portfolios. And she's also going to talk to you about Wakelet Student Ambassadors, which is something else that we do in our spring semester.
So Wakelet, or sorry, let me step back a little bit. So resumes and portfolios are really important, especially to grow as you're younger, especially when applying to colleges and internships, because it allows you to collect everything that you've done in the past, because once you get a certain, like as a few years ahead, you completely forget what you've done in the past. So it allows you to put everything together. We use Wakelet a lot. You can also use Google Sites. There are many other applications out there. I'm currently on Wakelet, and it's just a really easy, nice way to be able to collect everything and put it together to get ready for a job or whatever you may be doing in the future.
What do we say, Olivia? We say the resume is the... Do you remember the phrase I use? I use this one phrase all the time to remind them why we do a resume and why we do a digital portfolio.
Is it the gateway into, is it?
This is what I say. The resume is a promise of what you can do, but the digital portfolio is proof of what you can do. And so I teach them why the two of them go hand in hand. And then we pull in professional Twitter or LinkedIn pieces so that they can understand how to network with people in the industries that they're really seeking to pursue as they move forward into college or career.
Yeah.
I love that explanation. I remember when I first created a resume, I was told, and even at like a cover letter as well, think of it as a love letter, right? That's how it was described to me, that you don't give everything away, but you certainly pique this interest to want to continue this conversation and find out more. So it's that same sort of idea. And then portfolio is the proof, right?
You're right. And on that note, Mary Alice, we talk a lot, Olivia and I specifically, because we do lots of student-led conferences. And I teach them, really, now it's ingrained in Olivia. She asks her peers for peer feedback without even thinking twice about it. She asked me to sit with her and do a student-led conference to get feedback on her work. Just last week, Olivia and I had some fun conversations about her resume being too wordy because she wanted to give everything away. And I said, you shouldn't do that. Plus, they're not going to spend more than maybe 2 to 3 minutes looking at your resume. They're not going to spend a whole lot of time. So it creates the space for conversations that I don't think our students are having in other classrooms.
You know, in many ways, it sounds like in the early days, it was like a help desk, a student-run help desk, right? But you've taken this and really made it your own with that focus on students. I want to make sure I get let me see if I get the acronym correct. Students who advocate for technology, right?
Absolutely, that's right.
That really puts the student at the center of everything.
Absolutely, you're right. It did start off as a what is our problem? So we talk a lot about design thinking. What's the problem, and what are our possible solutions? So the problem was we had one-to-one MacBook Airs back then. How am I, as one person, possibly going to serve 900 users every single day? So we pulled in SWAT students to really learn that piece of it, but it has transformed into something completely bigger than I ever anticipated.
Olivia, as a SWAT member and as an advocate for students, not every student gets this opportunity. What's that big takeaway? What's that big difference about being part of this?
It really has let me grow as like a public speaker. We do Flipgrids, and it is incredible to see my very first Flipgrid for SWAT and my very last. It is completely different. And now that I'm going on and doing other things for other organizations, I'm able to actually be able to communicate and present and make it be coherent and have all my designs make sense on my presentation. So that's one of my favorite things about this class, is it's really made me grow as a communicator and as a presenter, but also as a leader.
And I'm telling you, we need more examples of that in everywhere you look. And I've been telling, anytime I have an opportunity to talk to school communities, I say, if there's only one thing that you do, I get it. Everyone is overwhelmed right now with what's happening with the pandemic. But if there's one thing that you can do, I always say, become a student Wakelet ambassador, because of the skill set, because it's real authentic learning. The student is driving it. I think of project-based learning, and I think in this time, I can't think of any better skills to really address. And I know that your classroom, you are the reason why the student ambassador program even is a thing with Wakelet. So
yeah, well, and you have a hand in that too, Mary Alice. So don't let them think that you didn't. We practiced it. We beta tested it here at Salina High School. And I did work on the learning goals and objectives a lot with MISPA and the Wakelet team to make sure that it was feasible for all students. We wanted all students to participate. We wanted the whole program to be easy on the teachers. So we came up with this program, right, December of 2019, pre-remote learning. So the idea was just what you said, is to allow the students to take the driver's seat on their learning, to go through all of the 6 C's, collaboration, communication, creativity, critical thinking, citizenship, and
Oh,
curation.
oh, it's always curation. We forget.
I always forget curation, but that's the Wakelet. The word Wakelet is curation. And so what happened is that then we went into this remote learning space, and the truth is, it really has been beneficial. I have a student who's actually currently remote, and then I have students who are in person, and it works for both scenarios. They are driving their learning, they're asking questions, they're doing peer reviews, they're learning how Wakelet works, but they're also then able to apply all of those 60s to content that they care about. And that's really where that ownership takes place. Olivia was in the beta test group of that. Last year, they finished the Wakelet. Okay, so here's the real thing, Marielle. They finished all the Wakelet tasks. I believe there are 6.
Mm-hmm.
They finished it in 2 weeks because I was prodding them every day. I need you to get this finished. I need you to work on this because I need your feedback. I need to know how to make it better. But we definitely don't recommend that students try to get all of those 6 tasks done in 2 weeks by any means, right? Go ahead and tell them what you think.
Personally, to build off of doing it in 2 weeks, I feel like looking back now, I'm like, oh, I really wish I, had enough time to work on it and be able to make it the best I can be, because there are some bits where I'm like, this is not my best work. So, but it was an amazingly fun program. It was really fun to be able to use Wakelet. I had never even heard of the company before, and to find this whole new tool, I absolutely love it. It works great with me, making my portfolio, and being able to have some of the stuff I made last year for Wakelet was really amazing, with now building off of it and making my portfolio for the future. So, yeah.
I think it's wonderful. I want you to know we've got I'm new to Streamyard, so I'm not sure how I get those comments on, but I can tell you it says, yes, we do. We need more students like you. And thanks, Tisha, for your work, are some of the comments. But I'm thinking back to those 6 C's is really what is the foundation already of what you do, what the SWAT students do anyways. And if I want to showboat a little bit, you were winners of the Dig Sit Commit student. It was like this competition, and it was, unfortunately, you were supposed to be able to go live, the whole team to go live to ISTE to present, but the pandemic hit. So we did get to see that video. I'll share out that video as well, because I love what you created. And it's just a wonderful reminder. Let's just think about, for students or for teachers that are thinking about, how do I do this? Where do I start? What are those first steps to bring SWAT, or to bring at least the idea of SWAT into my classroom, into my district? What would you say?
I would definitely say, first, find the person. If you're going to be the person, then reach out to us. We actually do Google Hangouts often with different schools that want to implement this. It's going to look different for everybody, so I always will share out my materials. I would say, think of every reason that maybe your school or your leaders would say no to a program like this, and have a solution ready. That was one of the things I did. I wanted to approach this so they would not say no. And of course they said yes. And now every time my students present, they realize that they really are leading. Students can lead in any situation. We just have to give them the opportunity to do that. And so if your campus is saying, we believe that we should have project-based learning, engaged learning, we really care about all of these C's in our curriculum, just show how this is going to benefit your campus. Find a problem and come up with this team is your solution, whatever that looks like for you, because I promise you, the students are going to transform that entire team for you. The truth is, they're leading every day. So every change, every presentation, they really are leading that. I'm just facilitating it.
I love the role of being that guide on the side. And then Absolutely. All the magic happens,
That's the truth. They will, and the thing is, if you need somebody to advocate, I've even done this. I will talk to your principal. I will talk to your school board. I will talk to your stakeholders and showcase what we've done here, because I really, really am confident in all of my students leaving and truly leading out in the world, in digital spaces, in physical spaces, face to face. They have the skills now to go out and just be incredible.
I want you to know, I had an opportunity to join a classroom today in Kenya, and they described themselves. Now I'm going to forget the title. It was the student. What did I say? It wasn't apprentice. Oh my gosh.
Interns?
No, it wasn't intern, but they, I would love to, I'm going to forget the word completely, but I would love to connect this group of students with you to go live. You know, you could just connect. I want to say I connected around 9 a.m. Eastern time. So hopefully the time difference will be on our side, that you'll be in school, that this is something that you could connect, because they are learning all these skills that you're interested and that you do every single day through SWAT.
So we would love to do that, Mary Alice. 8 o'clock. We've actually, I will tell you that this should tell our audience, whoever's watching, whoever watches this later, this should tell you how committed the team is. We do not start school until 8:45 Central Standard Time, okay? And they have shown up at 8 o'clock to record their student-led podcast, 8 o'clock in the morning, so that they could be finished and go to class at 8:45. So 8 o'clock, no big deal. We would love to get on with the Kenya team and talk to them. I have several other second and third year SWAT members that would be great to give advice and just chat with them.
Well, that's fantastic. I'll make sure that that connection happens. And in the meantime, I know that February the 12th is coming up, and we want to make sure everybody registers to join us in partnership with the California School Librarian Association. We are hosting a DigCit Summit. Their conference is a 4-day conference, and this is the part that I love. So the organization has said, school librarians help everyone. So our annual conference is meant for everyone. And so this is for a school community to come together, no matter what your role might be. It's 4 days. One of those days happens to be a summit. And I'm so happy that you are going to be able to highlight SWAT and the Wakelet, the Student Ambassador Program for Wakelet, as part of this really critical conversation around how do we use technology for good.
Absolutely. We are so excited about that event. We are currently planning our presentation. You're going to hear directly from the students, so you're only going to hear from me for a little bit of time. And they're going to walk you through each task. They're going to showcase some of their collections. They're going to tell you what worked well for them and really their reflection on the whole program. We'll give you links at the end of that session to sign up. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think it's really important. Again, like Mary Alice said, I always put them at the forefront. I want them to have the experience under their belt to say that they have presented to educators globally. And so we love that we've been invited to do this, and we're so excited to share with all of you.
Tell me this. It'll be a great way to think about this. Where are the places that you've connected? Where are the places that you have presented? I'd love to know from both of you, but Olivia, just this has expanded your world.
Yeah. I have presented on, it's going to slip my mind. And I absolutely love this group. Anora's in it.
Global Ed Student Chat. They have presented there with Jennifer Cassatod and Michael.
That's in Canada. Fabulous. You're already international.
We were going to present at ISTE, and so unfortunately we did not get to do that, but I did present on their behalf to ISTE, and then TCEA. And then in fall we presented for Mary Alice, but I cannot remember what it was. We did, and we also last year worked with a school in Russia, 2 schools in Russia last year. Listen, Mary Alice, the problem with this is that we always forget. We have so many things under our belt. I have curated all of our presentations in Wakelet, and I need to share that out because the truth is we have done so many that we forget, but we've made connections with so many people. Interestingly enough, Olivia is actually working on a project. Do you want to tell her what you're working on with Jennifer Casatad?
Oh, so she is getting the highest level of Google certification, which is called Innovator. And basically she's making this amazing website that really teaches you how to lead on social media, like any kind of platform. And so I've been making some graphics for her, and I made a video for her. And so I'm very excited for that to come out, because it is an amazing thing that I'm going to do once it gets out, but I'm so excited for it. So yeah.
Tell me this. So you do the Google level 1 and 2. I don't know enough. What goes after 1 and 2? Is it Innovator?
So after 1 and 2, you can get Trainer and Innovator. So those are the high levels. I'm a trainer. Shout out to all my Google certified trainers. Jennifer Casatad is going for Innovator, which I think is incredible. What is even more incredible is the relationships that my students have built with her and Michael Drezick. And honestly, just educators all over the world, because the students run their own social media accounts. So they run their own Twitter account. And you want to talk about engaging in Twitter on Friday or Thursday after the Flipgrid session?
Oh yes, I was very interested to see how many. I tweeted on my own personal account. I tweeted on the SWAT account. I became very invested in how many people it reached, because I was like, this is so interesting, because I've never been part of this like algorithmic like analytics. And so it was just very fun, and to be like of getting likes from people who like other educators. I was like, wow, this is like an amazing opportunity to get myself out there and ready for college, and getting like making connections, because that's really all this is about, is making connections and being able to with those connections get further in your career. So
yeah, sounds like.
And the fact that you already have a professional learning network, I mean, I had to wait, how many years was I into even teaching to say that I didn't feel alone in this learning journey. So what an incredible opportunity. And I will always be cheering you on, no matter what, no matter where you are in life. And I am just so proud to bring your story, to spotlight it, to even consider being that I'm on this journey. And I just am so blessed that it happened to cross paths with both of you. And thank you so much.
Mary Alice, we feel the exact same way about you. SWAT, the truth is, if you're watching, Mary Alice can ask SWAT to jump, and SWAT will say, how high, Mary Alice? How many jumps do you want us to do? Because the feeling is completely mutual. They have so much respect and love for you. And honestly, thank you so much for all the opportunities you give my students to be able to practice this art and to create and really to learn what this process looks like, so they can go out and be incredible world leaders.
Well, I just want to thank you for making an impact, because not only do you make a difference in your own school, your own classroom, but larger to your local community, a global community, and a digital community. And I can't think of, that's like the height of, you want to be an impactor. That's exactly, you embrace that every single day. So thank you so much for joining us and inspiring so many others.
Thanks for having us, Mary Alice.
Thank you.